chasing them, if you do that hard stop, whether they're doing either way, more often than not, will cause them to break suddenly. That's your opportunity, while they're broken and stopped, to hit them. Does that make sense? So play with that. The other one that I really like, and I've done this in fights, and a couple of times I've done it without even realising I've done it until afterwards. I find sometimes when you're in really intense fights, kind of up, and kind of up, and kind of up, sort of everyone's sort of trying to tag, and you get really tight and things are really tense, drop your shoulders, and your opponent will do the same thing. And that's your moment to hit them. So you can fight them to the point of creating tension in their body, relax, and they'll think, oh, we're disengaging, pop. Right? So you can create tension for them and then manipulate that timing because you know what's going to happen. So fight them up, relax, they'll do the same thing. It's amazing how often this happens where we mimic what our opponent is doing. You know? So they're the opportunities that you can take in the midst of that. So create tension for your opponent and then reduce it in yourself, and they'll mimic, and you can take that opportunity to hit them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Is that clear? I don't know if I've explained those very well at all. But, okay, so if you get the concept, have a play with it, right? And see what happens. And see if you can play with that and make it work. But they are really useful. There was a tournament where I hit Corny in the semi-final, and it was just purely that. We'd sort of fight. He legged me. Fight. I legged him. Fight. And then he and I both kind of almost instantaneously went, pop. And I didn't even realise that. You know, my body just threw the shot, which was great. But it was in that moment of relax, bang. And that's what killed him. Got me into the final. And then he just destroyed me. He just wanted to kill me, which was fine. I was just happy to get to the final. But yeah, so use that tension against your opponent as well. Does that make sense? So you'll find that there's things that happen that it's just, yeah. Sorry, I need more coffee. So breath, relaxation, and finding that flow and those shots that you can throw purely by using your body to do the work. Yeah? So that it's not just your arm, you're not actually controlling it just purely with your arm, that your shots are coming from the flow of your mass, right? Because we talk about weight transfer. In order for a shot to have power, it needs weight transfer into it. That can be created through high-speed momentum, which will hit with force, or, you know, I can throw a slower shot if I've got the weight transfer through it, which comes from my body. Doing it that way is far less work, and it means that you will have a lot longer to fight in the midst of an engagement. And for me, that's what it's about. It's about being able to fight longer. You know, I don't know if you saw the video of the shot of me and Gui fighting in Crown. I needed to have as much energy at the end of that as possible because he just does not stop. So being able to control that and use that to my advantage, understanding my breath, being relaxed. When I'm not in the midst of an engagement, no tension. Release the tension, save your energy. Shape your swords so that you don't have to hold them with any effort. Those kinds of things. Find those things that you can do and focus on just reducing any tension you can out of your fight, and you'll find that there will be a bit of an increase in what you can do. Breath, getting that breath in and helping that relax. Sigh of relief, that big kind of deep sigh. So for me, my wife calls it when I get my giggle on. I do it in the midst of a fight. I release the tension through laughing, or...
That is the most terrifying thing coming out of your helmet.
And you know, Iento, who travelled with me to Crown, said that the amount of times he's seen me disengage, laugh, and then kill someone because they've actually relaxed in that moment as well. You know, and he said it's surprising the number of times it happens because all of a sudden the tension is broken. I can capitalise on that because I'm used to doing it, but my opponent often doesn't because they don't realise what's happened. So, and it's become a natural thing. It's not a conscious thing. My wahoos, I love the moments in those fights, but I let that breath escape. I let that tension release through that sound because it helps me relax and stay focused. If I keep that tension, I find that I get tense right up into my head and then I'm thinking too much. And I want to reduce that. I don't want to have to think. I want my whole focus to be on just flowing through the reaction. I'm a very reactionary fighter. I'm an opportunist. right? There are some fighters out there who are very, very great at control and going, okay, I'm going to do this, so you do this, and then I'm going to do this, and then I'll hit you here. I don't have that foresight anywhere near as much as those guys. I will engage you, try and get you to throw a shot at me, so that I can then be an opportunist off that shot and do the best thing I can from that. A lot of that comes, I think, through the way I've developed in life because I'm an actor, and so I'm really good at improv. And improv is all about being made an offer and rolling and flowing from that offer. And so I equate that to the same thing in fighting. Someone throws a shot at me, that's an offer. I'll take that offer and then I will destroy you, or hopefully kill you, you know. But it's about that. So that's how I work, and being relaxed and flowing in that moment for me is super key to being able to do that. And those moments of zen where, you know, fighting John Dye in that tournament, I didn't even know the shot that I threw. My body just went, there it is. That's what must happen because I'm relaxed and I'm just letting it happen. As an actor, I have to trust my technique on stage. That I've built up all of this skill, I understand the nuance and the technique and the structure of story and all of this stuff. And then I have to let it go and just perform. And it's the same thing for fighting. I have to have all this technique, this skill, these things that I know, then I get into the midst of a fight and I have to let it go and just trust that the skill and the technique will do its job, that my body is relaxed and it will do what it needs to do. You know, yes, there's control moments and that sort of thing, but the more I can be relaxed, the better my fights are. And for me, that's all about breath, tension reduction, and flow, which comes from a lack of tension. So that's it. That's it. All good? Cool. Any questions? Anything you want to talk about? Anything that doesn't quite make sense?
Sure. From my example is my hand is that purely sword grip or without things
Yeah, part of it is just, yeah, I would say I'd be interested to see what your sword grip is. I'd be interested to see how much you need to grip this, because the minute you have to apply tension to your hand, it equates into your wrist. And so, because that's where all the muscles are connected. So if you've got a round sword grip,
I shake it down tense.
yeah, it has. And so then it's about nuance of that. So
outside. Or we can go, yeah, that works too. Okay.
I mean, I don't understand why sword hilts are shaped the way they are in period, but I do know that those guys knew what the hell they were doing. And so I'm happy to make mine as close to that as I can, purely based on the fact that master sword makers have been making sword hilts that shape for centuries. I don't understand it, I don't get it, but it must be done for a reason. I'm going to trust them.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, so I would suggest that you focus on finding a pal or a scene partner, a fight partner, and make your focus for some sessions when you're doing slow work or pal work purely about relaxing through those shots. How do I focus on reducing tension in that arm? And consciously think about it, you know, and you'll find that you'll be able to get there. But if you've got a deliberate action that happens through a work situation or something like that, you have to then unlearn that, you know? And you don't feel bad if it doesn't happen straight away, because, you know, we're often fighting years of habit, and it can take a long time to break that habit if we need to do it. So,
do you have to tense your hand to grip the sword to actually contact? Do you have to tense it up, or can you sort of have more relaxed hand while you're actually in contact?
If I hit somebody and I don't have any tension in my hand when I strike, I'll probably drop my sword. And there are times when I've dropped my sword because I'm like, yeah, flow! Oh yeah. Right, you have to stop it from bouncing out of your hand. But because this is shaped so well to sit in that space in my hand, it's literally that. There is so little tension required for me to maintain that grip and that control. It's ridiculous, right? And sometimes I don't use enough to do it and I drop the sword out, but it doesn't happen very often. And that's purely because I've shaped this, and I will sit there on my linishing belt and shape it, Does it feel like I'm having to grip it out here, or can I just have my hand relaxed around it? So my goal is to shape this, and they're always a little different. They're never perfect. But my goal is to shape it small enough, because I got tiny little man hands, shape it small enough that I can just be at rest and it just sits in there. And then it's the minimum amount of effort to control that at the end. So the pop that you get, like I can just, with no, you're right with this?
Yeah.
So I'm going to just drop the shot, no tension in my hand, just enough to hold the sword, right? I'm going to now just flick my fingers at the end. And that's just, and flick fingers, right? I get a little bit of tension here because the muscles pull up through there, but my focus is just squeezing.
Could we get you to try that with leg stick?
Yeah.
That way we've got a look at your hand.
Yeah. So just body dropping that in, right? Squeezing the hand. A little bit of tension comes up through the arm because they're all connected. But you can hear the difference in that. Shield? Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'll cameraman.
Well, I'll hold it up here, so I've pretty much.
Yeah. So I'm just going to drop this. Is that a good line for you?
Yep.
So no tension, just gripping, a little bit of tension on the squeeze through there. So it's really just that. By having this isn't too bad because you've got that space. You can see the difference that that makes purely in just squeezing that. So this is relaxed. The only thing moving really is that pinky pulling in. You can see the distance that's traveling up the top. Yeah? So if you add a little bit of body to that, you've got a pretty powerful shot that's created with very minimum cueing.
I think one big difference is between those two as well. You kind of have a bulge in the middle of the grip.
Yeah.
So it kind of naturally sort of sits in your fingers.
Yeah.
So
It rolls nicely around my fingers. Feel that?
And you can practice this on the barrel, just that grip to snap without having to do. You go, let's break it down to the parts. And you go, just using your finger snap. So
It's probably easier here because then I can just. Right.
So you can see that the hand is just.
Nothing else is moving. But I'm going to hit you right. So if this is coming from an offhand body, right, little bit of body inertia. Sorry, almost got your nipple. But that little flick with the fingers just placed at that level. You can hear the difference. You can feel it.
And that teaches the hand grab for that final.
And it's really great because up here, it's not cute. You actually don't have to move. You start this, and then you can push it. Or if this is all moving together, and then this just pops out, you've already got the weight transfer behind it. So we're here, little bit of I'm going to set here, pop. This movement starts because this is all moving together. You don't put any kind of credence in the sword, right? If this is moving in sync, and then as this moves. You go, oh, it's just a body move, and this pops out. This has already got the weight transfer coming behind it to help just push that impact in. It might be a little punch to the hand, whatever it is, you find it in that moment. But often, if I'm in close enough, straight into the eye, I don't need anything more than just that right. Yeah, yeah. And, if I'm tense through here, well then all of this is going to move. So if I'm tense through here, that becomes a massive cue as opposed to that. This doesn't have to move. Yeah? And it's the same with other shots.
Levin actually talked about something very, very similar in the pole arms. That little movement down the bottom end with the pinky or with the back hand. In Levin's case, getting that big movement at the end of the weapon.
You fight pole, don't you? I'll show you something that when I was at Penzig last time, the king of Trimeris is a glaive fighter, one crown with his glaive. And have you got a hit? Not hit? Have you got a hit? That's right, I'll do it with this.
There's a great sword just outside.
Now, I'm passing on this knowledge. I don't know how to master it. I'm just purely passing on what he showed us, which I thought was freaking cool. I'll do it this way because imagine it's a glaive. Thrust that he does, we've got the stand in front of few thrusts. he will also thrust by gripping the weapon, applying tension between his hands and squeezing them together, and then releasing the front hand. So you're creating this push between your hands as though they're coming together, and then because you're already creating this force that's coming forward and backwards, but it's equalised, so it's less visible to your opponent, if you release the front hand, the backhand just forces forward. And it's this quick little thrust pop that he does. It's freaking cool. And it's another version of a thrust that has a little bit less cueing and different stuff.
That's cool.
Funnily enough, I was showing a guy in Bundaberg how to do it, and he was sort of fighting me, and he's like, "Ugh!" And I'm like, dude, I can see what you're doing. Because your whole body went into it, right? It's just get this tension in here. So that's another way to use tension to your advantage.
From this angle, you can see that tension come up through your arms.
Oh yeah, it comes right up here.
Yeah.
But in the midst of a fight, if I'm moving...
That's from this angle rather than mine.
Yeah. Yeah, actually that's interesting. What can you see when I'm here? Through the camera, like through that lens.
Yeah, well,
you know.
Yeah, it's you don't see it.
Probably not as visible.
No, it is visible.
Yeah.
Constant movement.
Yeah, and if you're moving through stuff, whatever, if you can find that place where you're actually bracing as you come down,